Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to Santa Barbara County Action Network's North County Awards Celebration.
Yay!
We're so happy to have you here. It was so nice to see some of you on Zoom, and thank you all for being here now, either on Facebook or on YouTube. We're streaming live on both, and we ask you to make any comments you'd like to make as we go along. Please do make them, and we'll respond to them as we can. My name is Jeannie Sparks. I am the Associate Director of Santa Barbara County Action Network. We're so grateful that you're here with us to honor and celebrate the impressive work of 15 individuals and organizations who have helped to make the North County a better place to live and work. Now, when you're looking, if you'd like to access our tribute book, we do have that online. You can find a link to that in the email we sent out today. If you don't have that email, go to sbcan.org, and on the homepage, there's also a link to it there. That's where we've listed descriptions of our award winners and our special recipients, and also the program for today. So if you'd like to follow along with what we're doing at what time, okay, we don't have the specific times there, but we do have a program on there you might like to look at. Now, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors who make it possible for us to do this work, supporting environmental justice, economic justice, and social justice. Special thanks to our title sponsor, which is the United Food and Commercial Workers, Local 770. They've been a longtime supporter of SBCAN and an excellent partner in our search for economic justice in the county. We'd like to also thank our platinum sponsor, Cause, who we also work closely with on many different issues, as well as we work closely with a lot of organizations. I can't really mention them all, but did want to mention Cause. And our silver sponsors, which are the United Domestic Workers, the McCune Foundation, the Fund for Santa Barbara, the Land Trust for Santa Barbara County, SEIU Local 721, and Kathy Sherm and David Dennis. Our bronze sponsors are the Law Office of Mark Shatillo, Dr. Robert and Mrs. Louise Hammond, Dick Flax, Janet Blevins and Gary Smith, Karen Mays, Santa Maria Lompoc branch of the NAACP, Democratic Club of Santa Maria Valley, Santa Barbara County Supervisors Greg Hart, Joan Hartman, and Doss Williams, Senator Monique Limon, Assembly Member Steve Bennett, Congressman Salud Carbajal, First United Methodist Church of Santa Maria, and Los Padres Forest Watch. The support of our sponsors helps us to continue our vital work for social, environmental, and economic justice. Let's hear it for all of our sponsors. Yay! Thank you all. Thank you all. I'm going to talk a little bit about SBCAN's history, and then our newest staff member, Nadia Lee Abushanab, will give you some updates on what SBCAN has been doing recently. Santa Barbara County Action Network was founded in 2002 by a group of activists who sought to bridge the divide between the social justice and environmental organizations and between the North and the South County. They desired to preserve environmental and agricultural resources while urging a holistic approach to community planning that integrates affordable housing, open space, and transportation to meet the needs of all members of our community. They chose a wide range of issues encompassing environmental, economic, and social justice. I was working for the executive assistant of the 5th District I was working as the executive assistant to the 5th District Supervisor about 20 years ago when SBCAN was formed. We in the supervisor's office had held many roundtables and sought broad participation by constituents to participate in county affairs. There were a few progressive organizations and several individuals addressing a variety of topics, and they would occasionally come to the Board of Supervisors hearings in Santa Maria. But it was a struggle to get people to turn out for all the issues that needed progressive support. There were many times when issues came up at Board of Supervisors hearings in Santa Maria, and no one was there to support the progressive point of view. Unfortunately, someone was always there to support the opposite point of view. SBCAN changed all that. The first time I saw SBCAN's first executive director, David Fortson, speak at a Board of Supervisors hearing, my jaw dropped. Literally, I just couldn't believe it. I was amazed. He spoke powerfully and forcefully. He spoke on seemingly every issue that was important to progressives. He provided a point of view that had been missing up here. And he spoke for the people in North County as well as the South. After 11 years working in the supervisor's office, I finally felt the North County had a compelling voice representing the public on so many issues that needed progressive support. Fortunately, there are now many strong progressive organizations in the North County showing up for the most significant issues. We're happy for this dramatic change and the networking we are doing to improve the community for all. We hold this annual awards celebration to thank those who are doing the tremendous work in the North County and to encourage others to join them and us and help making the North County better for all. So now to speak on what SBCAN has been doing recently is Nadia Lee Abushanov. Nadia.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you, Jeannie. Hello, everyone. My name is Nadia Lee Abushanov, and since December of last year, I have been working as SBCAN's Advocacy and Events Director. In the 6 months I've been here, SBCAN has supported several efforts, including the successful saving of 101 acres of the San Marcos foothills from being developed into luxury housing, advocating for the extension of the eviction moratorium to protect renters in California, and following the lead of UFCW Local 770, we successfully advocated for a hero pay ordinance and got qualifying grocery and drugstore workers a $5 per hour pay increase for 60 days. We also have supported the effort to create a grassroots Central Coast Green New Deal. And last year, we celebrated a huge collective victory when all 3 of the proposed oil projects in Cat Canyon were withdrawn. Going forward, we're working on implementing the goals of our Community Green New Deal. We're advocating to remove or drastically reduce the cash bail system. And we continue to stress the need for more affordable housing throughout the county. We are currently keeping close track of the Santa Maria General Plan update, opposing the Cat Canyon aquifer exemption to help protect our community's drinking water. And we're gearing up to oppose onshore and offshore oil projects in North County this fall. Now, to tell you about how you can support the continuation of this important work throughout Santa Barbara County, here are Janet Blevins and LaWanda Lyons-Pruitt.
Hello, my name is Janet Blevins, and I am the North County Co-President of SBCAN.
And I'm LaWanda Lyons-Pruitt, board member of SBCAN.
Throughout this event, we encourage you to make a pledge to donate to SBCAN by writing on the Facebook or YouTube comment section of the live stream. Then, when you have a chance, make your pledge good by going to sbcan.org to actually activate the donation. And we invite you to write something about why you're donating to SBCAN. Which could be a cause or a personal comment about meetings that you've been to, anything that you like.
And if you have a problem, please call 805-563-0463. That's our office number, and we'll be happy to help you there. Also, you heard the awesome history of SBCAN from Jeannie, and the summary of SBCAN's work from Nadia. This is to let you know that this work cannot be done without your support. Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigue of supporting it. That's from Thomas Paine in 1777, and it still holds true today. So thank you.
And now here is our Executive Director, Mr. Ken Huff.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Janet and LaWanda. LaWanda, one of our winners of one of these awards several years back. And then we got her on the board, and she's been indefatigable on the board. So, in addition to the 7 traditional awards that we're presenting later tonight, we decided this year to include special recognitions because we didn't have a celebration last year. And due to the circumstances of the last year, COVID, we are excited to honor 6 individuals and organizations. And first up is Jane Baxter. Jane's been an environmental activist since 1985. And over the last several years, she did a ton of volunteer work for SBCAN. It started with writing a beginner's guide to the oil industry, well-researched, and then followed by a report documenting all the hazards Santa Barbara County would face if San Luis Obispo County approved a rail spur that would have allowed tar sands crude from Canada to be delivered to the Phillips Santa Maria refinery. This special recognition is for Jane's volunteerism.
It's nice to feel that the work I've done over the last 5 years in the Santa Maria Valley area and any good trouble I might have caused has been appreciated. I represented SBCAN on oil issues early on when there was only a handful of activists, but today there's a really talented group of environmentalists like Larry Bishop tracking and staying on top of this issue and making very important progress. I've also worked with SBCAN since 2017 on the Santa Maria River Valley groundwater basin supply and water pollution problems. There we've hit a brick wall with no measurable progress, no vibrant group of activists, and when we needed to push back for health reasons, I've had to cut back. Other activists are just not focused on our important growing local water problems. For example, not one public comment was submitted last year about the badly flawed basin's annual report. And this last week, I turned in 14 detailed pages of comments and might well be alone in that effort this year. For nearly 20 years, the level of the Santa Maria Basin has continued a very significant and overall decline, but this important fact seems to fall below the community's radar. Each year, the basin's Santa Maria area management leaders refuse to address climate change and its impacts on our declining water supply and our increasing water quality problems and health risks. The worst of these risks stem from agricultural fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, past and present oil activity, as well as future saltwater intrusion. Water politics in Santa Maria are complex, notorious, and historically deaf to community input. I hope someone is out there listening today that might think about making a real difference in the future of the Santa Maria Valley area by becoming a water warrior. It's really easy. All you have to do is give me a call and I'll make sure you get put to work. Thank you, SBCAN, for this recognition.
And thank you, Jane, for all you do. And if you need Jane's phone number to follow up on what she just said, you can contact me and I'll get that to you. Thanks. Our next recognition goes to United Food and Commercial Workers Local 770. For 15 months, my wife and I stopped eating out and going anywhere very far away, and we relied on our local Albertsons for virtually all of our food and a lot of our other stuff, initially not toilet paper. And then we found out at the butcher. But if the workers had not decided to face the risks of going to work, we'd have been in trouble. And so here to accept this recognition is Michael Bott.
My name is Michael Bott. I work for Vaughn's store 3329 in Santa Barbara. I'm also a member of the UFCW 770 union, which represents the food, drug, cannabis, meat packers in Southern California. As an essential worker, I provide a service for people. I make sure the foods are stocked on the shelves. I'm personally a produce manager, but I feel I'm doing a service to the community by making sure everything's stocked so people can do it. Even during the pandemic, as essential workers, we put up with a lot of harsh working environments, crazy shopping, situations where the stores are packed. And this hazard pay that just passed is going to help us a lot. It really makes us feel appreciated. We sent out over 100 postcards and letters to the council members asking them for their support, which helped us achieve a victory with the hazard pay. It's going to be awesome because now I finally am getting some kind of compensation for putting my life on the line, helping the people out. I felt that it was my duty to go into work and stock the shelves. But getting the pay is going to be awesome. It's just nice being appreciated for all the hard work that we've done. For us to get it up here is a total victory. And it's just amazing that we are finally here in Santa Barbara, our little piece of the world, getting what we're due. I would like to thank directly the Santa Barbara County Action Network for its support in helping us get this hero pay. And also this award that you're giving us is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, UFCW 770. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. It is my honor to recognize the next 3 honorees, all well-deserving. Our first honoree that I am recognizing is Dr. Melissa Smith for her work keeping vulnerable communities safe and informed during the pandemic. Dr. Smith is a family medicine physician and director of health equity initiatives at UCSB. In addition to all the other work that she is doing in our community, and I submit to you that that is a lot of work, she is co-founder of the Latinx and Indigenous Migrant COVID-19 Response Task Force, a cross-sectional Santa Barbara County wide effort to understand and address priority community concerns during the COVID-19 pandemic.
I'm Dr. Melissa Smith, Director of Health Equity Initiatives at UC Santa Barbara. I'm honored to receive this recognition from SBCAN, not for myself as an individual, but in the spirit of collaboration and solidarity that has been such a core strength of the Latinx and Indigenous Migrant COVID-19 Response Task Force. When the pandemic emerged last year, I was asked by my esteemed colleague, Dr. Vondo Reynoso, to help co-found this task force. Little did we know in the initial weeks of our coordinating efforts that the task force would evolve into such a vibrant and powerful space for cross-sectoral, county-wide collaboration. Today's recognition honors the tremendous dedication of our many task force partners, including the Santa Barbara County Public Health Department, community-based organizations working closely with grassroots communities, elected officials, funders, UCSB students and faculty, the UCSB Center for Publicly Engaged Scholarship, and most importantly, community members themselves, many of whom are farm workers. Together, we have sought to understand and address the pressing concerns of Latinx and Indigenous migrant communities as they have confronted the complex challenges of the pandemic. The successful efforts of the task force are a tribute to a shared vision and commitment to principles of social justice and health equity for everyone in Santa Barbara County. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. We can thank you with this recognition, but we truly thank you for your work. And it's my pleasure to know you and to actually introduce you. Our next special recognition from SBCAN goes to Dr. Vondo Reynoso. Dr. Von is our Santa Barbara County Public Health Director. Since the beginning of the pandemic, Dr. Von has worked around the clock to coordinate the county's public health response while maintaining relationships with the state of California, other county health departments, board of supervisors, businesses, community-based organizations, other agencies, and the public. She has been instrumental in keeping the public informed, through initially daily press briefings, and I saw all of those, then later weekly briefings and frequent presentations to the Board of Supervisors. So we really knew everything that was happening. Dr. Vaughn is committed to collaboration and believes that through power building strategies, we can implement policies and practices to achieve a healthier and better community for everyone.
I'm honored to be here, surrounded by outstanding individuals and organizations who have given so much of yourselves during this pandemic. The Santa Barbara County Action Network has worked tirelessly to ensure the needs of all members of our community and future generations are not only met, but sustained. So thank you. This pandemic has been extremely difficult and heartbreaking on so many levels. But despite these challenges and difficulties, great things have emerged. The community partnerships forged and strengthened during these past 15 months have truly transformed our public health department and the way we deliver services to our community and how our community sees public health. The Santa Barbara County Public Health Department is committed to protecting the health and well-being of our community by preventing disease and working with our community partners for health equity and social justice. So we will continue our partnership with you to ensure that the equity work moves forward. I want to thank my community partners who are now my closest friends, and some are able to join me here today. Thank you. We are successful in our response efforts because of you, our trusted community leaders. Thank you for being our thought partners, for joining us in the work. Thank you for your outreach and education efforts, your messaging, and delivering services as well. I look forward to joining hands with you and other community partners to create a county where every member of our community will have the opportunity to achieve the very best possible health and well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vaughn. I'm honored to say that the NAACP is one of those partners, and we're just honored to be on the task force and also to know you. I would like to encourage everyone again to make your donation a pledge by writing in the comment section on your Facebook page or YouTube channel, whichever one you're looking at. Just make a pledge there. You're hearing about the great work that we at SBCAN that we're doing. If you have problems, feel free to call 805-563-0463. Thank you, Hilda Zachariah, for your $250 pledge. Thank you. Our next honoree, in addition to the pandemic in 2020, we also saw the murder of George Floyd at the hands of police officers, which ignited a call for justice that was heard around the world and a broader conversation about race, police, and the inequities of the criminal justice system, something that we at SBCAN and NAACP that we strongly support and advocating for. Our next recognition goes to Santa Barbara County Public Defender's Racial Justice Committee. I'm proud to say that I know many of you and that I retired from that office. Through your zealous legal advocacy, community engagement, and strategic collaboration, your commitment to fighting against systemic inequality and the disproportionate harm imposed on communities of color by the criminal justice system Since your inception, the Racial Justice Committee has collaborated with local community organizations on education around racial justice issues in the criminal justice system and has fostered relationship with those organizations to avail itself as a resource and partner in the community. Here to accept the award on behalf of the Racial Justice Committee is Rebecca Selvin and Julia Lar.
On behalf of the Racial Justice Committee at the Public Defender's Office here in Santa Barbara County, we want to thank SBCAN for this award and honor. We know the great work and commitment to our community that SBCAN brings and greatly appreciate all you do as an organization. We know that continued collaboration with SBCAN will better our community in so many ways. For those that are unfamiliar with the Racial Justice Committee at the Public Defender's Office, our committee was formed earlier this year in the wake of the murder of George Floyd to coordinate an effort in combating systemic racism in our courts and our community. Over the last 12 months, our committee has grown in size and strength and coordinated efforts to educate our community and collaborate with organizations like SBCAN to identify, improve, and correct injustice locally. We know that people of color are disproportionately stopped by police, arrested, sentenced to stricter punishments, and more likely to suffer consequences of being justice involved. Our committee hopes to reach out a hand to our community members and walk their clients, their families, and friends out of this injustice. We hope to do this through education, collaboration, and advocacy.
Our committee includes not just public defenders or lawyers, but also holistic defense practitioners as well as data fellows who utilize their respective skill set to make a change. Holistic defense is a client-centered and strength-based model of public defense that seeks to achieve better case and life outcomes for clients, their families, and their communities by combining aggressive legal advocacy with the broader recognition that for most clients, the criminal case is not the only issue with which they struggle. Advocate teams of attorneys, social workers, housing coordinators, rehabilitation services specialists, and resource advocates are constantly assessing and evaluating needs of clients and community gaps in services. Our holistic defense practitioners have been crucial to the effectiveness of our committee and have been heroic in their efforts to better our community. We recognize the importance of events like this to raise awareness for important causes and hope to strengthen our fight with ongoing collaboration. Thank you again for this honor.
Thank you so much, Racial Justice Committee. Education has a huge role to play in the way we advocate for racial justice in our communities. Our final special recognition goes to Santa Maria Joint Union High School District for their recognition of this fact and the actions that they took last year to make Santa Maria a more just place. The Santa Maria Joint Union High School District is committed to the learning and well-being of all 9,000 students it serves. In July 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, the Board of Education unanimously adopted a resolution denouncing racism and affirming its commitment to expanding ethnic and gender studies for all students by making it a graduation requirement. Just an aside, this is my goal as a newly elected member of the Lompoc Unified School District Board of Education. Superintendent Antonio Garcia will be accepting this award on behalf of the school district.
Good evening. My name is Antonio Garcia, and I have the honor and fortune to serve as the superintendent of the Santa Maria Joint Union High School District. On behalf of the school district's Board of Education, I'd like to thank the Santa Barbara County Action Network for this special recognition. For several years now, a core group of school and district staff have been working on developing courses and a long-term ethnic and gender studies plan for all of our high schools. Last July, in the midst of the pandemic and the height of the racial violence that was taking place in different parts of our nation, our school district's Board of Education adopted a resolution denouncing racism and racial discrimination and affirming commitment to ethnic and gender studies for all students by making it a graduation requirement. I'd like to commend our board, Dr. Jack Garvin, Ms. Diana Perez, Dr. Carol Karamitsos, Mr. Dominic Palera, and Ms. Amy Lopez, who was president at the time, for their unanimous stance on this decision. I also want to thank our staff who composed the Ethnic and Gender Studies Committee for championing this cause, the staff of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo who have partnered with our district in this effort, and our broader local community for their support. Again, much gratitude for recognizing our district's efforts to ensure that the learning and well-being needs of all of our students are met, guided by the principles of equity, diversity, and inclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, and Senator Garcia. Congratulations to all the recipients of our special recognitions. We appreciate everything you are all doing for the community. We are now moving on to the traditional awards that we give annually. Our community does it all: environmental protection, community building, furthering social justice, supporting workers, and more. From the bottom of our hearts, we want to thank all of the awardees for their contributions to our community. Each of our awardees has chosen a song to be sung to them by SBCAN Board Secretary Gail McNeely, accompanied by guitarist Joe Payne. This is one of the most unique things that I think we do as an organization is we sing to our awardees. And Gail just has the most wonderful voice. Joe's a wonderful guitarist, and I know you all would just be delighted when you hear it. So here again is SBCAN Co-President Janet Blevins to introduce the first awardee.
Thank you, Jeannie. Before I begin these traditional awards, I would like to acknowledge a recent awardee from UDW, Elva Munoz, who lost her valiant battle with cancer a week ago today. Elva was an energetic, loving caregiver, not only to her clients and her family, but for others in the community who needed something, anything. Please keep Elva's family in your thoughts and prayers. Our first award winner of the traditional sort is Larry Bishop, who is being awarded SBCAN's Environmental Protection and Sustainability Award. He has been working since 1970 to improve the environment. Back then, he was advocating to limit indoor smoking, and he's continued that work ever since. Larry helped start Safe Energy Now, North County, which advocates against dangerous oil projects, and organized climate strikes in front of Buellton City Hall every Friday, a la Greta Thunberg. He installs solar panels at reduced cost as a volunteer with Sunwork, and as an active member of SBCAN and the Sierra Club. He has done much, much good work. Congratulations, Larry, and thank you for your good work.
Thank you, SBCAN members, for honoring me with this award. It is with profound humility that I accept this award, knowing that so many of you have devoted your lives, your energy, to preserving our environment. Each year, this award also honors you, as well as those of us who are privileged to stand on your shoulders. SBCAN, in its 2 decades of existence, has provided local environmental activists a forum and network to interact with each other in their work towards a sustainable future. SBCAN's broad shoulders have been essential in moving many clean energy, air, water, and land sustainability projects forward. SBCAN's recent saving of Cat Canyon from dangerous oil drilling is just one example. John Muir once said, "Handle a book as a bee does a flower. Extract its sweetness, but do not damage it." Working in my career and private life, I have focused on improving air, land, and water quality. Ironically, I regulated and at times punished many of the people who provided me with all the material comforts of our industrial society. That raises some questions for me. How do we extract sweetness from our world without harming it? In these perilous environmental times, we are rapidly learning how. Rachel Carson once said, "The human race is challenged more than ever before to demonstrate our mastery, not over nature, but of ourselves." Can we master our instincts, our insecurities, our greed, our callousness and short-sightedness that is rapidly destroying this beautiful world we were born into? Who are our allies with the sharpest tools to trim back our consumption, our rapacious growth, our pollution of a struggling global ecosystem? Only by a persistent, personal, and communal commitment to conservation and a light footprint can we realize both prosperity and a healed and healthy world. Thank you for this honor.
Hi Larry, you picked a great song by John Williamson about clear-cutting wood in Australia. Do? What about the future? Draw the line without divide. Why should I get emotional? The bush is sacred, and shed life will find a way. Here they go, killing another mountain. Build a quota, can't go slow. Huge machinery wiping out the scenery. Big swipe like a shearer's blow. Rip, rip, wood chip, turn it into paper. Throw it in the bin, no news today. Nightmare dreaming, can't you hear the screaming? Chainsaw, I saw more today. About the axemen who knew that timber, about the way they brought it down. Struck black, but tallow and cedar, another bungalow, pioneer town. And the bush and I am koala, how one go hand in hand. And the bush like banjo and Henry, it's in my blood, gotta make a stand. Rip, rip, wood chip, turn it into paper, throw it in the bin, no news today. Nightmare dreaming, can't you hear the screaming? Chainsaw, I saw more today. Rip, rip, wood chip, turn it into paper, throw it in the bin, no news today. Nightmare dreaming, can't you hear the screaming? Chainsaw, I saw more today. That's for you, Larry.
Thank you very much, Gail. And congratulations, Larry, and thank you for all the great work you do. Next up, first, I am going to remind everybody, since this is an awards dinner fundraiser, that you may make your pledge on either YouTube or Facebook, and then later on go to sbcan.org and make your pledge good. Thank you. And thank you to Vivian Engel for her $100 pledge. And thank you to Maria Martino for going to SBCAN and making the pledge good. Thank you. Next up, we have Lorraine and Wally Waldau receiving the Giving Back Award. Lorraine and Wally have been giving back to the Lompoc community for the past 2 decades. They have been active in the Valley of the Flowers Church, Lompoc Pride Alliance, March for Our Lives. 2 of those activities they actually began themselves. Cahoots, which stands for Community Activists Helping Out on the Streets, and the Lompoc Valley Democratic Club. I'll let you know that they've already had us out walking precincts, and in fact, they're walking again today for the Stop the Recall campaign. When they're not coordinating volunteers or campaigning, Lorraine loves to cook, Wally too, and they're very good at it. And they enjoy work, and Wally enjoys working with his model trains in a model train shed. They're both excellent gardeners and eat much of their own produce through the summer. And I can attest to that because I get some of their produce handed over the back fence to me. Thank you so much, Lorraine and Wally, for all that you have done for our community. Please never stop.
And I thank you very sincerely for this award. We moved up to Lompoc in 1989, and in 1990 we met and got married. We have been active in the community since early 2000s with the Vandenberg Village Lions Club. We worked on many projects with them, including ice screening in the Lompoc School District. In 2014, we discovered the Lompoc Valley Democratic Club, and then things really got busy. Lorraine is a leader. I'm a follower. Lorraine is an organizer of people and things. I'm a doer. She sees the big picture. I see today's details. Yet, when it comes to working on campaigns and other community-wide efforts, we both share our commitment to giving our resources and our time, and so we work very well together.
I've been a member of SBCAN for about 3 years, and Wally and I have attended the last 3 awards dinners. I'm currently in my 4th year as president of the Lompoc Valley Democratic Club, where I spend a lot of my time organizing campaign teams, writing newsletters, and keeping people informed. Wally is the scholarship chair for the club and a chief campaigner, delivering all of the candidates' signs, phone banking several times a week, and canvassing on the weekends. Over the past 2 years, we have worked with the other North County Democratic clubs to come together to offer trainings, ideas of best practices, and campaign for the candidates endorsed by our Democratic Central Committee. Our common goal is to turn North County blue in 2022. We are working to elect a Democrat as the California Assembly member in Assembly District 35, which includes all of San Luis Obispo County and northern Santa Barbara County. There are 2 areas of change that we would love to work toward for the future. One is to help the Lompoc City Council stabilize their income by correcting an inequity in the cannabis ordinance that taxes retail dispensaries and only levels a very small fee on the much larger manufacturing side. This requires the council to step back and let the residents of Lompoc vote. I work with Cahoots in Lompoc, an advocacy group trying to bring an unarmed mobile crisis unit that runs through the 911 emergency call system to Lompoc. The 2019-20 data shows that at least 2011 911 calls could have been diverted to a Cahoots-style program, freeing up the police to work on crime and violence. This requires that tax on cannabis manufacturing so the city has a steady stream of revenue. What motivates and inspires me is finding passion in what we do together and separately. When the community work is right, you know it, and you give freely of your time and your effort and your resources. But it's not always easy to find that calling or that opportunity. Sometimes you are in between, and the world is kind of a little off kilter. But when you do, you know it. And you give to the task to the extent that you are able. Again, we thank you so much for this award that celebrates community.
Lorraine and Wally, This Is For You, a song by David Pomerantz which John Denver sang on the Muppet Show. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all have everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us to be free. Find your heart, open your eyes and see. We can all know everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us, here and now. It's in every one of us, here and now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rebecca Garcia. I'm one of the newest members to SBCAN's board and a policy advocate with Cause. I'm pleased to be giving SBCAN's Working Family Awards to Zulema Aleman Garcia. Although she's been living in SLO County and has plans to move to Santa Maria, Zulema has found her community here in Santa Maria. And she's been working here since 2018. She worked with Just Communities, Truth in Recruitment, and now works with Cause, where she organizes farm workers around different issues. Last year, Zulema helped organize protests and negotiations with Driscoll's for an amazing win at Rancho Laguna to successfully get farm workers pay raise and better working conditions. Thank you for all you do, Zulema.
Good evening. My name is Zulema Aleman. I'm an organizer with Cause in Santa Maria, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to receive the SBCAN Working Families Award. As this award is a testament to the amazing and powerful work our community has done in North County. Though I am the recipient of this award, I represent hundreds, if not thousands, of working families in our county that have stood up against injustice and intimidation to demand respect, dignity, and justice. It's incredibly inspiring to be in my role at Cause, where I get to work with farm workers, immigrants, and youth of color who are passionate about their community. Through eyes full of love and hope, they share their dreams of how this community can be better to serve them and generations to come. I am incredibly grateful for every single community member who has put their trust in me to push with the same passion for these changes, even if I do not share the same upbringing. Whenever I get asked where I grew up, I always have a hard time answering that question. I generally say LA, but the reality is my family was continuously displaced due to lack of opportunities for mixed status families, loss of income, gentrification, race of rent, lack of safety and educational opportunities, and so much more. I am so incredibly proud of the strength and resiliency my parents had to push through adversity and make the best of situations that we were dealt with, but I always felt like I lacked a community outside of my family. Coming to the Central Coast at 18, I searched for that community. And I am so incredibly blessed to have found a home in Santa Maria, where I was welcomed with open arms and patience as I began to learn more and more about the community. The greatest lessons that I've learned and continue to learn has been what it means to be in community, which includes caring and advocating for that community. The residents of Santa Maria have shown that to me day after day in my role as a community organizer. Through risking their livelihood, farm workers have stood up for themselves and their peers at work, planned work stoppages and rallies to gain public support, and demand for better wages and conditions. Students of color tired from all their responsibilities, including taking care of their youngest siblings, part-time jobs, and classes, show up to late evening meetings to make sure their lived experiences as well as their families are taken into consideration when votes happen. Even with long work or school hours and millions of other responsibilities, immigrants, youth, and farm workers spend their limited free time to learn and speak about important policies that will be voted on and that will impact their lives in so many different ways. I truly want to thank those community members for trusting me, for teaching me, for their patience and contagious love for their community. It's an honor to be able to dream, plan, and fight together for a city and county where secure housing, fair wages, educational and vocational opportunities, as well as fair representation in government exist. I am excited to continue to be in community with you all, to continue to fight towards justice for farm workers, immigrants, and youth of color. Thank you so much.
You chose a song that both Joe and I love a lot. It's perfect for now. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. And no one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Nothing you can know that isn't known. And nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Sing with me, buddy. All you need is love. All together now. All you need is love, everybody. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Thanks again, Sulema. You're an inspiration to us all. Next up, receiving the Social Justice Award are Pam Gates and Cliff Solomon. In 2019, Pam and Cliff were instrumental in creating Santa Maria's branch of Showing Up for Racial Justice and continue organizing important talks and actions to educate and advocate for racial justice in North County. They are both proud to have been part of the group that organized the 2020 virtual Santa Maria Women's March and are looking forward to next year when they hope to be back doing this work in person. Congratulations, Pam and Cliff.
LaWanda Lyons Pruitt called to say that Cliff and I had been selected for this year's SBCAN Social Justice Award. Our first thought was, wait, what? Yes, we do a lot of social justice work, but there are many people we work alongside who also deserve this award. Our second thought, though, was we're thrilled that you have chosen us. We moved to Orchid in 2012 near the Santa Maria Airport. And at one point, the board of directors for the airport was proposing a change that we didn't agree with, but we didn't know what to do. Somehow we found SB Can, went to a meeting, and Ken helped us with some background information and also to help us understand our options. And we still depend on SB Can to help us make informed decisions on local issues. Working at Cal Poly and commuting didn't leave much time to be socially active. Same for Cliff, who traveled a lot as a consultant and then worked at Vandenberg. Then the results of the presidential election in 2016 really shocked me into action. I had to raise my voice for women's rights and for communities of color who were becoming increasingly criminalized and oppressed. I retired in 2017, and then I had lots of time. I found cause and joined the North County Coalition, the NAACP, the Democratic Party, and the Women's March. But I still had a lot to learn about who holds the power in this area and how they use it to maintain the status quo. I also had a lot to learn as a white woman doing social justice work. Serge Santa Maria has added that link. When Cliff retired a couple of years later and jumped in on the Women's March, I don't think he had any idea where all this would lead. But here we are.
Along with Pam, I'm truly flattered to be given this Social Justice Award. After moving to Santa Maria 9 years ago, I've had the privilege to work with many people who are making a difference in our community. Working with these activists, including my colleagues in SB Can, inspires me to also advocate for the LGBTQ+ community, for our farm workers, for Planned Parenthood, and for others who need support. We have significant problems in Santa Barbara County, but we also have many individuals and organizations who collaborate to make things better. Together, we have a strong voice to bring about progressive change. Pam and I are grateful that you let us be a part of that work and are truly honored by this award. Thank you.
Pam and Cliff, you chose a song that is very timely. Come gather around people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times, they are a-changin'. Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming, for the loser now will be later to win, for the times, they are a-changin'. Come senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he who gets hurt is he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times, they are a-changin'. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can lend a hand, for the times, they are a-changin'. The as a present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changing.
Congratulations, Pam and Cliff, and thank you, Gail, for that wonderful rendition. Next up, we are giving a Lifetime Achievement Award, and it is my extreme honor to present SB Can's Lifetime Achievement Award to Art Hibbets. Art has been growing walnut trees on the orchard that his grandfather purchased in 1906. That was 115 years ago. He's not been ranching that whole time because Art is the grandson. But it's been many decades, and he and his family have been dedicated to protecting and conserving prime agricultural land all that time. And we will need to continue doing that work as another parcel of prime ag land in Lompoc might be looking, the city might be looking to build on it, and we will need to stop that. Art recently completed a conservation easement on all of his properties, over 400 acres, and encourages others to do the same. So all of this acreage is in the Land Trust of Santa Barbara County, will be preserved forever, will never be developed. And that's what we need to see with other prime ag land in our region. Thank you so much, Art. I had the privilege of taking the certificate that SB Can produced for his award, and also several documents from various electeds in our area. And he was just absolutely overcome with thanks. And of course, he's so humble. He thinks that he is only one of hundreds doing this same work, which is maybe coming to be close to that fact. But when Art started doing it, he was almost a lone ranger. So we are so grateful to Art for all of the work that he has done over all of these years.
While accepting the SB Can Award, I want to point out that there have been many organizations and individuals who fought the unending land use battles over the years. The battles to protect our county's communities, natural resources, and quality of life, and agriculture. I'm sure you all recognize that during the post-World War II era, we had numerous planning issue battles, land use battles, such as compatibility with the neighborhood, health, safety, and welfare, water resources, and basically economic impacts, annexation of farmland, and many other significant impacts. Those reoccurring battles resulted in many changes over the years. CEQA became reality, state of California's Conflict of Interest Codes, revised general plans, Ag Preserves Act came into effect, the Williamson Act, and then we had LAFCO, and most importantly, we removed from office of politicians that use their office to financially benefit themselves and their friends while ignoring their oath of office and with really total disregard of the communities and continuing to violate the laws in some cases and more. So when I first got involved long ago, we already had organizations working to protect our county from the plague of uncontrolled growth occurring in Southern California. It was pretty obvious what you don't want to do, and a lot of people came here from Southern California
because of what was going on down there. But clear back in '39, you remember the name of Jin Chow, water was an issue in San Ynez Valley. And so there was a group of people that formed something called San Ynez River Water Conservation District. Later on, we had Citizens for the General Plan in San Ynez Valley. And then, of course, Citizens Planning Association came along, involved in issues, especially in Santa Barbara and South Coast. And then we had later the Environmental Defense Center and all their help on CEQA. And a little more recently, we have the the Land Trust for Santa Barbara County, which Betty Williams was instrumental of getting started. And finally, we have SBCAN, which is a group of concerned people with a lot of issues besides land use planning. So, thank you everyone. Please don't give up. The future generations are counting on us. What I'd like to add to that is that I think future generations are going to look back and they're going to wonder what in the world were people thinking of back in those days when they take some of the best farm ground in the world and convert it to shopping centers and housing projects and worse. You know, it just, right now it's short-term profits, but long-term that is probably the stupidest thing I can think of. And the last that I want to give you is, long ago, somebody by the name of Pete Seeger had a song you probably all know, "Where have all the flowers gone? When will we ever learn?" And, you know, he was talking about not Lompoc Valley, but that is so appropriate. Lompoc Valley was known for its flowers, the Valley of the Flowers, for heaven's sakes. And now it's the former Valley of the Flowers, you know? And think how many acres are gone, irreplaceable. Anyway, thank you very much, SBCAN.
Hey Art, you said you liked John Denver, so we chose this one for you. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is warm there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round me. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, faded on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mama, take me home. Country road, I hear your voice in the morning hour, it calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get the feeling I should have been home yesterday. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mama, take me home. country road, take me home. Country road, take me home. Country roads.
Congratulations, Art, and thank you so much, Gail. Next, we have our Looking Forward Award. And this year, 2021, our Looking Forward Award goes to Yasmin Dawson Salim. Her accomplishments and involvements in North County are too many to name here, but we would like to highlight the march and rally that she organized in 2019 in response to the death of Marlon Brumfield, who was home on leave from the military. And he was shot and killed. She also has co-founded a group in our community called Collective Cultures Creating Change, also known as C4. And this group was responsible, along with the NAACP, for giving us a fantastic community Juneteenth a week ago in Ryan Park. She is involved, Yasmin is also involved in Cahoots, the NAACP, the Islamic Center of Lompoc, and is currently helping create a memorial for all the victims of gun violence that we have lost in our community since 2018. Thank you, Yasmin, for your very important work to make our community safer. And congratulations on your award.
Which means peace be upon you. My name is Yasmin Dawson, and I'm deeply honored and humbled to receive the Santa Barbara County Action Network's Looking Forward Award. I'm always astonished when I receive an award of this magnitude with such accomplished co-recipients. For me, my community involvement is a second act in the latter stages of my life. I have always been active on a small scale, but the growing violence in Lompoc propelled me to act on a larger stage. In September 2019, I organized a march against violence following the death of Marlon Brumfield. I did it because I saw our community was in distress, but also to find solace in myself. Watching his family grieve brought back memories of my brother's violent death at the age of 21. I hope by organizing the march that our community to come together to put a stop to these senseless deaths. I would never had imagined that it would have brought me awards, but also that it expanded my world in so many ways. It changed my life. I got involved in protests, attended city council meetings, NAACP, the Democratic Club, and also engaged with a dynamic group of students at UCSB, led by Dr. Melissa Smith, and met with others who are doing important works. This all led me to start my own organization called C4, which means Collective Cultures Creating Change. And I'm involved in trying to bring an anti-crisis unit called Cahoots, an organization dedicated to providing support for those in need of social services. We're attempting to bring that to Lompoc. Most importantly, I found my voice and confidence to lead. And I found inspiration listening to others that use their voices, particularly young people who inspire me beyond belief. In thinking about this award, I keep thinking about the looking forward part of it, which is apt during these uncertain times. I'm heartened by the efforts being undertaken to make a difference in our community and country, but I want to remind us as the event is taking place behind the Juneteenth Day celebration, which reminds us of the importance of also honoring and celebrating the past and the past history. I hope that you will take time to understand the past to adequately address the needs of communities in the future. This isn't just about Black communities, but the rising hate against Asian Americans, Muslims, Hispanics, and people of other cultures. It reminds us to look at the past, at the injustices against those in those populations as well. I am beyond honored to be here with you today and wish all my recipients a hearty congratulations. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Yasmin, you chose a great song by Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. Happy to sing it for you. Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There is so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones, they're coming up. The world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. No, 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 no. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. Wake up all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we can do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our minds. Surely things will work out if we all give our time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. No, 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 no. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. We gotta change it, yeah, just you and me. Before I announce our last award, I'd like to thank the award winners for motivating people to give today. Since we've been on the air, Cesar Chavez, Leanne Hutton, Stephen Brown, George Rellis, Yasmin Dawson, Mary Martino, Vivian Engel, and Cheryl Neal have all pledged and given to SBCAN. And this is your time, before the show is over, to go on YouTube and say, I pledge $100, I pledge $200, and then to go on our website, sbcan.org, and actually give the money. And then that will help us to continue to do our important work. And I want to thank one other person who has gotten very little thanks, and that's Joe Payne on the guitar. Joe Payne is playing the guitar, and he's very good at all the different styles that we've been asked to do. Joe! Yay, Joe. Okay, so now, I happen to work with Juliana Neal on a Honk for Renters rally. It was very exciting, very much fun. We drove around City Hall and we honked and honked on our horns so that the City Council would be encouraged to endorse a moratorium on evictions. A moratorium on evictions, and they did. They did. So Juliana and I worked back then, and she has done so much in our community. Juliana has been a great force of organizing and of advocacy for the House of Pride and Equality, for the Santa Maria Women's March and for Santa Maria Young Democrats. We're sorry, in a way, that she's going away. See, Juliana will be leaving Santa Maria this fall to attend UC Berkeley for her third year studying political science. But we're very encouraged by that too, because she's going to be great in her field. She already is. After that, Juliana hopes to return to Santa Maria to be with what she calls her second family of activists. And she will continue doing the good work she has already done. So congratulations, Juliana, and thank you so much.
My name is Juliana Neal, and I would like to first off start by thanking SBCAN for this amazing honor. It means more than the world to me. I was lucky enough to be born and raised in the beautiful Santa Maria Valley, but spent a lot of my adolescence growing up in Orchid. This left me with a unique experience because at age 14, I came out as transgender. My identity was instantly political. Coming out as transgender in a conservative community was not easy, to say the least, but it gave me the courage to stick up and advocate for things I believe in, and quickly became a trait that I've continued to rely on as I have grown up. I began my journey in the social justice community by volunteering with House of Pride and Equality at their 2019 Pride celebration and made quick friends with another honoree, Cliff Solomon. After a long conversation with Cliff about various different social justice topics, I chose to join the planning committee for Women's March of Santa Maria Valley, which gave me my wings to fly. I got to meet wonderful people that would assist me in my journey, like Pam Gates, Sarah McDonald, Yvette Peralta, Kathy Sharam, Jesse and Audie Funes McDonald, and Daisy Balsuto, to name a few. These people gave me the strength and training I needed to continue my journey, and I'm extremely grateful for them. Women's March opened the door for so many opportunities for me, like interning for Santa Maria City Councilwoman Gloria Soto and assisting in the creation of Santa Maria Valley Young Democrats. When the pandemic hit, like many of you watching this, I knew I needed to do something, but didn't know where I could best assist. In April, I worked alongside a group of other organizations and community activists to push for a moratorium in the city of Santa Maria by hosting a rally during the council meeting. I'm happy to say that our efforts worked and we successfully got the city of Santa Maria to pass the ordinance. In the summer, I got to work with House of Pride and Equality again, but this time as a producer for their Pride event, which had to be all virtual. The week-long event was a celebration of love and acceptance, but also one of mourning and of teaching. And later in the year, I worked with local Democratic clubs to advocate for progressive candidates up and down the ballot. But I finished out 2020 by organizing the virtual Women's March of 2021, where we acknowledged and remembered the women who healed, led, and transformed their communities in dire times of need. 2020 taught me many things, but most importantly, it taught me that you can never stop learning and that the work is never done. Looking to the future, I envision Santa Maria as a hub of activism and prosperity because of all of the amazing work that organizations and community members are doing. And I hope to be one of those people leading the change. I want my nieces and nephews to grow up in a world where they are allowed to be who they want to be without any pushback. And I want to see a Central Coast where equity is at the forefront of decision making. Again, I would like to thank SBCAN for this honor, and I would also like to thank every single person who has helped me along my journey, my family, my friends, but most importantly, my nieces Rocky May and Maylani for giving me the drive to continue. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jules. Well deserved.
Yes, indeed.
So, throughout the afternoon and the evening, you've heard about the awesome work that SBCAN does. And I think that our SBCAN ballot sums it up perfectly. Who will keep your county clean and green, keep big developers out of the scene?
Who protect the Gaviota Coast and save this place we love the most?
From the rolling bluffs of Carpinteria to the windy plains of Santa Maria.
Black and white and brown and green, social justice is our theme.
Building housing people's need builds community, not greed.
Hybrids, bike lanes, buses and trains, transportation that sustains.
Open space where all can breathe. To our children, we will lead.
So if you love your county's land,
join SB Can and take your stand. Yay.
Thanks to everybody who joined us this afternoon. And we would like to name some of the pledges that we've gotten from various folks. Cheryl Nield, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Thank you so much for your pledge. Joe Pierre and Brian G. and Jeremy Ball and John McReynolds. And thank you, Jane Baxter, one of our awardees. And thank you, Yasmin Salim, one of our awardees. And I have something here that I'm donating. This is a $100 bill.
Yay, all right, all right.
Don't lose that, Ken.
So just a little bit more about SB Can. So our membership is $60 per year or
$25 or whatever you can afford.
Just talk to Ken. We hold our annual membership appreciation meeting every January.
Unfortunately, this year, again, it had to be virtual, but next year we will definitely be in person in January at St. Mark's in the Valley, where we hold our events.
We hold monthly roundtables in both Santa Maria and Santa Barbara to discuss numerous issues and to coordinate with other organizations. So make sure you get on our email list so that you can attend those.
Where are we?
Now you can see that SB Can is making a difference. And we thank you for being here this afternoon, tonight. And we thank you for your support. All of our honorees have made a difference and continue to make a difference in our county.
I'm going to interrupt you, Lawanda, for 1 second to tell you about the only real oil project that we need to worry about coming up.
Okay.
And that would be the Exxon trucking proposal. Now, Exxon, who in 1980 knew what climate change was all about, but did they tell us? No. They decided they'd go ahead with their plan and make a ton of money and destroy the world. Not a good idea, but that's what they did. Now, in 2021, they have scheduled two planning, the planners at the county, the Planning Commission has scheduled 2 meetings, one at the end of September and one at the beginning of October, to consider the proposal that Exxon has turned in. They want to restart their offshore platforms, pump the oil into their station, sort of mid-coast between Santa Barbara and Lompoc, and then